I've stated before that I'm a Sanders supporter, and I have not changed my mind or opinion about Bernie Sanders as far as what he stands for, what I believe that he can do, and also that the reports of his death have been greatly exaggerated. I still believe that he has a chance, and as long as he's got a chance, I'm hanging in there. And even afterwards, if for some reason he doesn't make it, I want him to go all the way to the convention, and I want him to push Hillary Clinton as far left as humanly possible. And I want him to be there to hopefully force her to stick to the program as far as being a progressive and not a centrist, which she has clearly shown to be. This clip is from Morning Joe, and I don't know whether it was intentionally or unintentionally, but Joe Biden basically weighed in on, if not the candidates, the styles of the campaigns and which one he prefers.
Bernie Sanders would continue to attack Hillary Clinton in the wake of New York were answered yesterday.
Yeah, I think he had really, when he went up to rest in Vermont, some very strong sight. Because he came out swinging.
Remember, some people said after New York maybe he backs off and just runs the dignified campaign, get to the finish line. Well, Bernie was
a tough match.
Armed with what he viewed as a show of support from Vice President Joe Biden. The New York Times wrote this about Biden yesterday, quote, "He remains neutral in the battle between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, but not between their campaign styles. He'll take Mr. Sanders' aspirational approach over Mrs. Clinton's caution any day." Vice President told the Times, quote, "I like the idea of saying we can do much more, because we can. I don't think any Democrats ever won saying we can't think that big. We got to really downsize here because it's not realistic. Come on, man. This is the Democratic Party. I'm not part of the party that says, well, we can't do it."
Wow.
So,
What about Joe Biden, Willie?
well, he's...
Talk about cider.
What? Talking about there's something there.
He's, yeah,
So,
fiery.
and Bernie Sanders seized on that. This is what he had to say at a rally in Pennsylvania yesterday after reading verbatim from that New York Times piece.
"I think the vice president is exactly right. That is what this campaign is about." That's right.
Now, let me make a comment. Bernie Sanders is at a campaign rally, and look at the diversity of the people behind him. Trump was at a rally the other day in Maryland, in Baltimore, Maryland, and if you look at the people that were standing behind them, they were all white people. They were not even young white people. They were all middle-aged to older white people standing behind him. So that's one of the main counters and main strength that Bernie Sanders would bring to the campaign. The fact that he has a lot of diversity within his following, whereas Trump at this time doesn't seem to have the same following. That's why Trump gives out those phony photo ops with his quote-unquote minority or diversity contingency.
It is about having the courage to face the reality of American life today. Understand that that reality is not always a pleasant reality, but have the courage to take on the special interests who are preventing us from going forward. When I talk about the differences between Secretary Clinton and myself, one of the major differences is precisely how we raise money for our campaigns. We concluded that we do not represent Wall Street, corporate America, or the billionaire class. We don't want their money. Secretary Clinton has chosen to raise her money a different way with several super PACs. In addition to that, as you know, Secretary Clinton has given speeches on Wall Street for $225,000 a speech. Not a bad day's work. And I think a speech of that extraordinary magnitude should be shared with the American people.
You know, who watches Billions around here?
Oh, yeah.
Favorite show. Did you see the end of the season?
Sure.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
That line, well, it's just a line.
Okay.
One character says, only person more dangerous than someone that has everything is a man that has nothing to lose.
How good is Giamatti in there?
Delivered by Giamatti.
Giamatti is the best.
And that is the man I saw up there. The man that has, if I were Hillary right now, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna win this. But that guy, he's got it, you know, and the thing is, if he were sort of a party player and it was all cold and calculated and he was doing it to gain power, he'd strike the deal now.
Right.
No. Well, he's there to change the Democratic Party to make it less corporate and make it less neoconservative.
I mean, here's a guy who you think back, the comparison that people make right now in this point in the campaign is to Hillary Clinton back in 2008. You know, eventually she came to a point, she realized Obama wasn't going to win, she backed off in her attacks, eventually she made peace. But she always thought she was going to run for president at some point in the future.
Right.
She wanted to run that party in 2016 or 2012, whatever, at some point, right? Bernie Sanders, 74 years old, never been a member of the Democratic Party. You know, he really has nothing to lose. He has no future game to play. He's not interested. He's not interested. He's never going to run for president again. He wants what he wants right now.
He wants to change the party. And you sensed it yesterday for the first time. Bernie and Jane, who's always, you know, lovely, well, we absolutely love her, you got the sense there's an edge there.
Yeah.
Where she was like going, no, we're not going to just sit back and turn our party over to people that get paid $250,000 from Goldman Sachs for a 30-minute speech.
It usually makes the spouse more mad than the candidate when you
Yeah.
hear calls to get out and people are still voting for you in huge numbers. But what I don't totally grasp is that there's not really a path for him to become the nominee. And I would guess that he has the most power at the moment when he could stay and chooses not to. So I'm surprised that there isn't more of a deliberation about getting out.
No, but there's not, because this is a movement. In his mind, this is a revolution.
It's not going to end in being the nominee.
No, but you know what? The more delegates he gets, the more money he raises, the longer he takes
what
us to
end,
the
though?
convention.
Is there a frightening possibility?
Hey, by the way, he's here to change the Democratic Party.
But hasn't he done that already? I mean, she did not expect to run
If
against
he's
him.
on the I mean, I'm not doing Bernie's bidding. I'm just thinking like Bernie's thinking. And if he gets out now, why? Strike a deal? He doesn't strike deals.
Well,
If
not
he's
do more damage to her.
But if he's talking to crowds that size every day between now and July,
About how unqualified she is. I'm just saying.
I'm
he's
talking
doing harm to her.
about the Democrat. He doesn't care.
That's my point. And Trump is going to start. You're going to start having an echo chamber between Bernie's attacks and Trump's. Listen, what do we care, right?
No, but I'm just saying that he is a movement progressive. This is about not only changing the party, it's about changing America. And he's not going to make a cold, calculated decision based on his political views.
If she loses,
There's two facts, okay, that are just facts about how they think about this. One way they don't think they're doing her any damage, in the sense that they believe that the Republicans will already have an oppo book this big, that Hillary Clinton's negatives are already out there. There's nothing he could say that they won't already say. That's their argument. Their argument is, Bernie says he's just disqualified. Who cares? Donald Trump's not going to invoke Bernie Sanders. Donald Trump's going to.
He did yesterday.
But it's not going to matter. Is their argument is Republicans are going to say what they're going to say. It doesn't really matter what we say about her. And by and large, we haven't said their view. We haven't said anything worse than what Republicans are going to say. The second thing is that he thinks he will have maximum leverage when you get to the convention. And he wants, and they're thinking about this a lot, he wants to change the platform. He wants to change the nature of the party. And the leverage point, in their view, will be get to Philadelphia with as many delegates as possible and then argue to change the platform.
No, another way of putting it is, he wants to change the world. He's going to change the world. He can lift that hammer, by the way. Really quickly, I want to get a quick thought from Mike and a quick thought from Michael, and then we're going to go to the RNC committee meetings. Michael Seal first.
Yeah, just real quick, I mean, there's no incentive for Bernie Sanders to do anything other than what he's doing right now. He doesn't care about how this impacts the Hillary Clinton campaign. You put it exactly right. He's about getting two things at this convention: people on the Rules Committee and people on the Platform Committee, because that's where the changing of the party really begins going forward.
Mike.
Bernie Sanders is a 74-year-old, fully formed socialist Democrat adult male. He's not going to change his mind. He's thinking the same things he's been thinking for 50 years, and he's going to continue to do what he's doing because, as John Howland accurately pointed out, he's standing on the stage no matter what he says about Hillary Clinton. He knows, everyone knows, in the back of his mind, Republican opposition could be either Cruz or Trump. He is not damaging her.
When you talk to Sanders supporters right now, they resent being told it's time to go away now. Yeah. They resent being told, not just by Clinton surrogates, but by people writing op-eds and people on TV saying, you had your little millennials with your slogans and you want everybody to get free college, but run along now. This has been ours all along. That, to me, that emboldens them more. They want to keep fighting.
I understand what they feel, but it's still not likely to be the nominee. And my only point is, listen, this...
See, but Nicole Wallace is missing the point. This is no longer a question of being a nominee, okay, as far as Bernie's concerned. This is a question of getting stuff done to benefit the American people. And sometimes you have to fall on your shield, okay, in order to accomplish your ultimate purpose. It's called losing a battle but winning a war, and that's what Bernie's doing right now.
This accrues to Republicans' benefit, but Trump is already echoing the Sanders lines of attack on her, and the notion that Sanders isn't doing any harm to her is ridiculous.
Let's talk a little Republican politics.
I think she's ridiculous because exactly what they said earlier. The Republicans have a playbook that they're going to run against Hillary Clinton, and that playbook has not changed. So, they can, add a little here, add a little there, but their attacks with or without Bernie are pretty much basically going to be the same thing. So go Bernie, keep going, go all the way to the convention, ram through as much as you can regarding single payer, universal health care, ram through as much as you can regarding free college tuition for the youth, so that we can become globally competitive around the world. Ran through as much as you can on criminal justice system. Ran through as much of your thoughts and agenda as you can, because that is only going to be to the benefit of the country.